Okay, we're back for another KS Reality Talk here, and this time we have Jeanette Dagger, who currently lives in Toronto, Ontario, Canada. She's been living there for the last 10 years, and before that, she lived in her birth town of Victoria, BC, Canada, where she was head of voice at the Canadian College of Performing Arts. Jeanette has graduate degrees in both music and theater, and she's taught for 23 years at the University of Windsor in both music and theater departments. All the while, she's had a performing career in theater, classical music, and opera, which took her pretty much all over the world. She is now retired from university and college teaching, but still teaches privately in her home and is working off and on as an actor and director. Yeah, and so Jeanette, I'd like for you to get started here and just kind of give us we usually start things off with where you were at right before KS and just what healing modalities you were in before that, and then the lead up to KS.
Yes. Oh my goodness. Okay. Well, I'm looking at your first question. It says you want me to talk about my ancestral coding. Did you want that or no?
Yeah, we can
The,
preface it with
this is
that. I
the
mean,
family that I'm with right now, or I have been with.
yeah,
Um,
just the link from your like 3D family, and then how if you've made the connection to your family, what your spiritual family is. Because KS teaches like our ET families and everything.
yeah. Well, oh boy. Yeah. Um, my life has been a little bit different. Um, I came in with a lot of karma, and excuse me, my father's lineage goes back to the Merovingian kings, and yeah, and my mother's lineage is Austrian and I don't know, Eastern Orthodox. So it was, I didn't really feel like I belonged to my family.
Hmm.
But yeah, there was a lot of searching that happened with me in my life. I started with music very, very young. I was taking piano when I was 3 and voice when I was 6, and I was on the stage from the time I was 5. So that was kind of, already chosen almost for me. But the searching really started seriously when I was in university in the 60s. I was studying in Michigan, and I started meditating. Of course, I went through all the religions. My parents were churchgoers, and I was never comfortable with saying the name Jesus. It was very uncomfortable for me, but I could say the name Jeshua for some reason. So that was very strange. I realized that very early on in my life. And I went through, as I said, all the religions when I was in university. Buddhism came pretty close, but I didn't believe that I could, incarnate into an animal or anything else, but who knows. But I started meditating, and I started getting, oh, lots of things happening. I was also turning into a vegetarian at that time. And I I guess what happened was after I graduated, I immediately got an opera contract, so I was distracted. Let's put it that way. And then I also got married, and that was very strange. That my husband, I realized through meditating again, we realized that we had had at least 25 lifetimes together, and my boys and my husband and I were a family back in Atlantean times. So that was meant to be. We had to be here. I knew we had to be here for this time period. And it wasn't until the 80s when I started teaching at the university, and I was meditating more seriously, and I was getting past life stuff coming to me. So I had a lot of past life recall. I know a lot of my past lives, a lot. Then I had a friend who was also a musician who practiced chelontic, or not chelontic, she practiced harmonic vibrational therapy. And she was very open, she was able to read, and she helped me tremendously because I had so much stuff going on in my life karmically that I needed to heal. I was like two different people from what I am today and what I was back then. And yeah, that was a huge help. She really helped me to release a lot of garbage that I needed to get rid of. So then I was still meditating, and I was doing other workshops, still searching, always searching. And I went through Cryon stuff. I went through the Mahatma stuff with Brian Grattan. I was doing, oh gosh, all kinds of workshops anyway, but nothing seemed to resonate with what I really wanted. I was looking for something deeper, more serious, and it was all just surfacey stuff. I even did Greg Braden workshops, and oh my gosh, I can't begin to tell you how many I did. But in 1997, or no, 96, I discovered I discovered Ishaya's ascension meditation, and there were 7 spheres. I got up to the 5th sphere. I couldn't do the 6th sphere without becoming a teacher, and of course, I was not ready to do that. So I stayed with the 5 spheres, and I had a lot of healing that happened. I actually had a huge heart chakra awakening where because I was on a retreat this was 1997. I was on a retreat in North Carolina, and I was meditating in his house. He had already left, the teacher that brought this stuff out. He was from Seattle, by the way. But I was meditating, and I had a huge opening here, and I think it was the Azure, because that's where I started to feel. I thought it was the heart chakra because I didn't know about the Azure at the time. But the energy was incredible, and I was just, I couldn't move. I could not move, and the sobbing, the crying, it was just unbelievable. I never felt such love. So that was 97. Then in 1999, I was doing the Camino in Europe with Norma Milanovic. We were on a bus. There were 2 buses of us, and we were healing rifts in time. And somebody on the bus had the Voyagers, the Sleeping Abductees, and The Secrets of Amenti, and showed me the book. And she said to me, "This is our story." And I looked through this book. I said, "Oh my God, this is what I've been looking for. This is it." So
the first time looking through it, you knew.
First time, 1999, October. Yep. And it was the first edition, of course. And so as soon as I got back from the trip, I immediately called the number on the back of the book, and I got her husband at the time. And we had a conversation for about an hour on the phone. And he put me off a little bit, I have to say honestly, because he, first of all, "Why don't you come down to our church?" And I didn't like the word church. I didn't.
He was using the word church, because it was Azurite Temple, was it then?
Exactly.
Yeah.
I just did church. And then he said, "She has a lot of people who don't like her because she's just this pretty little girl who has a lot of information." He really put me off. So I didn't go down. But I said to him, "Send me everything you have." So I gave him a credit card and got everything. He sent everything to me. And I said, "Please put me on your mailing list and let me know everything that's going on." And I can't remember if we had emails at that time. I said, "Email me whatever." I gave him my email address, my address, everything. I never heard from him, never heard from them at all. I did some looking online, couldn't find anything. But I got all the material and I just kept it at home and I read it and studied it, all the stuff that was in print at that particular time.
I mean, they were doing workshops back then, still, weren't they?
Oh, and I got no information about it at all.
You don't know if they.
Yeah. So now here's the interesting thing as well. In 2000, I think it was in the summer. Yeah, it was in the summer. My husband and I were in Glastonbury visiting my son and his fiance. They had just finished their graduate work at St. Andrews University, and they were finishing their theses and were living in Glastonbury, or just outside of Glastonbury, finishing their theses. And he's a historical fiction writer, and King Arthur and the whole shtick, that's one of his bags. Anyway, yeah. So I was there, and the funny thing was, we walked into one of the pubs, and in walked a woman with a great big, huge acacia necklace. And I looked, I said, "You're here. You have an acacia. What are you doing here?" And she said, "Iesha's here. She's doing a workshop, but it had to end because she got psychically attacked." And I felt, oh my gosh, it was so disappointing because if I'd known, I would have attended in a heartbeat. So yeah.
Part of Templars workshop or something back then. Yeah.
Yes, I think so. Yeah. Anyway, yeah. So it got disbanded. Anyway, they had to quit because she was attacked there. So then, 2003, I left. I retired from my University of Windsor job, and my husband and I moved back out west. And I knew at that point that she was coming to Seattle to do a workshop. So I said, "That's it, I'm going." And so I registered. And I got there, and I was standing in the lobby, absolutely sobbing. I was so happy to be there. And she came up to me and she said, "Welcome home." And I said, "Oh, well, thank you." And she said, "You and I were in the same team in Nibiru." That's exactly what she said to me. So that was it. It was done.
One of the first things she told you, just about Nibiru.
She said those two things to me. So, yeah. And
do you mind going into what that involves, the Nibiru thing? What was that?
Well, we were trying to save the planet. We were trying to save Nibiru, and we lost it.
Okay.
Yeah.
And Nibiru was an original part of our solar system at one time, is that correct?
Yes, it was. Yeah.
And it fell.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. So I've been committed ever since.
Yeah.
Long time.
Right. So, what was how was the activations like when you first started, and compared to your 3D life? What were you noticing?
Oh,
Modalities before Reiki or any type of stuff, hands-on type?
well, that's really funny because Iesha has an affinity for India. Well, I had gone to India in 2000. I'd spent a month in an ashram and had some. I was given second degree Reiki there, but that was very interesting. I learned that I had lineage. I had a lifetime there, and one of my spirits that is protecting me in this lifetime was an uncle, and he was a holy man back then in that lifetime. So I know that when I was very young, there were attempts to hijack me out of my bed at night, and I was protected. And I was protected by this Indian uncle, holy man.
So
Yeah.
was this like a cellular memory thing? The memories came back?
Yeah.
Those attempts, everything, just streaming.
Memories have come back, a lot of past lives. Physically, I mean, I just feel like I'm a very different person. I just celebrated my 74th birthday, and I don't feel like my husband was 3.5 years younger than me, and he died 3 years ago, but he actually looked older than I did always. But yeah, physically, I'm very, very healthy.
Yeah, I see that. You're very radiant. You're just glowing. Like right when you got on camera, it was just
Well, the
it's
funny
awesome.
thing is, my hair had turned completely white, and now it's starting to go dark again. It's very strange. Yeah, but I feel very healthy.
It looks blonde. It's
I
content.
was originally blonde, Chris. I
Okay,
was.
so it's coming back, like the pigment of your hair. That's amazing.
Yeah.
So you the vegan lifestyle, raw foods, everything, or how does it?
Um, I do a lot of yes, a lot of raw vegetables. I don't eat a lot of meat. The only time I eat anything is if I go to my son's and they have, they'll have chicken sometimes. But I don't, that's the only time I'll eat meat. I buy organic meat from my little dog, who's the love of my life now.
Yeah. What kind of
But
dog?
yeah,
What kind of dog do you have?
she's a Westie, a little
West.
Westie terrier.
Okay.
Yeah, her name's Lily. She's all white. She's beautiful.
Lily, you just said?
Yeah.
That's good.
And she loves when I meditate and do techniques. She comes and sits right beside me.
They do. They like the calm energy.
Oh,
They
yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Back to the. Oh yeah, I had a quick question. You mentioned your dad's side and the Kings. What was the name of that again? And where
Yep,
was it?
Ancient Kings. Yeah, yeah. I was also one of the Cathars in the south of France, but the Merovingian kings in the south of France as well. That was, yeah, my lineage goes back that way. Yeah.
Vision Kings. Can you give brief history on what that is? It sounds interesting.
Well, yeah, Dagobert. I mean, it's not a positive. It's not a
Oh, okay. It's
yeah,
not.
dark. Yeah.
And this is France?
Yes. Hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
And side?
Sorry.
Your mother's side? What side? What was that?
Yeah, she was part Austrian, part Ukrainian, French. So, yeah, there's a mixture there.
Yeah, I ask these questions because Voyagers goes into the cloisters and the roots, and it breaks it all down, like basically from a cosmic perspective into our 3D reality, which I thought was phenomenal when I that chapter. I think it starts out that way with all the root races and stuff. I know it's in the back of the book also.
Yeah, yeah.
So
I have a hard time, being very specific with all the material is I find it very challenging.
oh yeah,
But the big thing for me is the greater picture.
yeah,
That
yeah.
that's what I get. I get the circles within circles and all that stuff. I see the layers. But as far as like the really specific small bits, oh my gosh,
Right, right.
yeah, throws me for a loop. You
There's
young people are a lot better at that than I am.
well, I mean, it takes a group of us really to preserve this material, and I'm just glad that we're kind of stepping up and doing that, and you
Well,
know, seeing and stuff.
weird thing that happens. It's quite amazing. And frankly, if I practice this every morning without fail. And if I didn't do all that protection, like I sleep like a baby because I do the protection, all the stuff. Even I even do Aisha's brain wrap, where you bring they have the four-sided pyramid down over the head and you bring the Effie spark in and the Effie plasma flow and you wrap the brain. It's from the
Oh,
left like this. Yeah, I do all that. I do, yeah. The little pink diamond in the azure, expanding that into the love bubble and um, what else? Oh my gosh. Oh, and then creating the Illuminaire, bringing the right side and the left side together.
yeah.
Those two columns, ultra blue and ultra pink. So I do all of that morning and I do it at night when I get into bed, and I sleep so well because of it. I
Now you
sleep
say protection, but it just sounds like it's a joy just to do this. It's good
so,
frequency. And,
yeah, exactly. And it's the way I start my meditating every day, and I do all the prayers that we've always done.
uh Do you feel if you don't do it, is it
Oh,
you notice?
um, this is strange. Yeah, I have to do it. I have to.
Okay. No, I've been there. I know where that's
The clarity. It's the clarity. Like, I play the piano a lot. I just finished doing a play. And it's interesting because this play, my mother and I had a very bad relationship. She was very challenged, and she had really, really dark energy that came through. And she, it was a emotionally abusive, let me put it that way. And I knew I had to heal that relationship. And it was interesting because this play that I just finished doing in May, I played my mother. Go figure.
that's some therapy for you right there.
My gosh. Well, then while I was doing the preparatory work, because I do all the journaling and everything, while I was doing the work, I was meditating one morning and in came my mother. And she told me she had had no love in her life and that everything that she did was out of duty. And that's exactly what my character in the play was doing. So I had this insight. And then plus I added elements in the character. I made her, having lost her dream as a concert pianist, because I play the piano. And I played all this music, Grieg and Chopin and Shostakovich and Beethoven and Mozart. I had all this music I had to play in the play. And the clarity that came to me when I was practicing and doing the play, I would not have been able to do that 30 years ago. It was just, my brain is so clear now, and I'm patient, and I'm able to focus so well, and I credit KS with that.
That's awesome.
It really is astounding. I feel like my intelligence quotient has gone absolutely sky high.
Right.
And of course the emotional intelligence as well, the compassion, the understanding, all those virtues and everything that we have to practice. I am so in the moment with practicing that every day now. It's so meaningful and so rewarding.
So the first technique that you did, or stuff, what was that? Did you feel the frequency come up literally, physically? What was the experience?
Yeah, I feel the energies very, very clearly and very strongly.
You did the Maheart Shield first. Do you remember which it was or what it was?
Maheart Shield was the first thing. I don't do that anymore, but yeah, that was the first thing I did when I first started out. Oh, and here's an interesting thing. When I got, finally, I bought the first, what do you call it? The Kathara, the first Kathara healing book. Okay, the first course. I bought it in Seattle when I was there at the workshop. And that was 2003. Okay, now I got, my job at the college it was like 6-7 days a week, because I was involved with teaching, with directing, with voice coaching, and I was also directing other shows with other theater companies. And so I got really, really busy. Well, one night I was driving home in my sports car, and a woman on a cell phone went through a red light and hit me and broke my right foot all the way across. Okay, that was me tied up for 3 months. I was a mess. The car was destroyed, and so I was at home for a month, and I said, okay, this is the opportunity. So that's when I did the Kathara Healing 1 course, because I had no choice. I was sitting there. I said, I think that's why that happened. That car accident make me do it. Yeah. So, yeah, that was.
So before it was kind of something you didn't really have time for in life to do.
I was meditating, and I was doing, the text that we had and using all the codes. I've got all the codes, but I wasn't doing the deep stuff with the Cathara one, so I needed to do that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's fundamental foundation stuff there. The Cathara one was awesome. The Party Key, Party Kai,
yeah,
very familiar. Still, he's still,
yeah.
yeah. So how has all this affected your social life? How is chaos with family?
Oh, yeah. My family says it's all woo woo. Well, my younger son says it's woo woo, but my older son, even though I mean he's married to a lovely Greek girl, and they're more traditional. They don't go to church or anything like that, but he's I think he understands. He sees the effects, and he does meditate himself and do yoga, and he's pretty good himself. Now my younger one, boy, he's a character. You'll notice. Oh, you can't see. I'm a Harley mom. See Harley
Oh,
Davidson?
I see it.
Yes.
Awesome. Yeah,
Yeah.
some pride there.
He owns a hog.
Yeah, nice.
But he's
Through Colorado here all the time. It's warm as yeah.
oh, um, yeah. If I hadn't broke both my wrists in 2014, I would be owning one of those. I love them. Um, no, but he's very, let's say he's very powerful spiritually. He's in a little bit of a dark place right now because of a very bad love affair. So, yeah, but he doesn't want to talk about woo woo.
Yeah, yeah. Most people don't. They want some reality.
And then I have friends who are interested, who question. Like when we moved back to Toronto, I actually put a call out on the KS, one of the KS chats. I forget which one it was now. Anyway, I said, I'm in Toronto. Anybody want to start a KS group? And at one point, we had 28 people. But then the Shield got attacked. And
So it's like before 2012, huh?
yeah, we had a whole bunch of us had gone down to all of the workshops in 2012. We didn't miss any of them. And before that, I was going maybe twice a year, I think. But yeah, I couldn't afford to go to all of them because I'm on a fixed income now. So manifesting money is still a challenge. That's the only thing that I have a challenge with.
Yeah, a lot of us.
Yeah, but yeah. So the Shield got attacked, and we've had maybe 2 or 3 meetings since then. We're thinking about having another one actually, but there were 3 of us, and it's funny because initially there were 3 of us. I call us the Tribeca of Toronto, and we actually were located in a Tribeca position.
Oh, that's.
It's amazing. Yeah. So I was like the apex.
Did you
Next,
guys all work with the grids in your own area also?
yes, yes. We
Yeah.
even sponsored a K2, Cathara 2 workshop here, and Georgie came. And yeah. So yeah, we had, oh gosh, oh my goodness, one of our meetings, we had some new people come. It was when we had the 28. And this gentleman came and sat, and he spoke very broken English. I think he was Mexican, but he was sitting right next to me, and we were doing prayers and techniques. He died right there. He had a heart attack.
Oh
Died
man.
place. I've chosen a good place to go.
So he was already. He knew about the Bardo passage and the healings and where he was
Yes.
going. He was
Yeah,
intact. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Astounding. I felt so badly, but he was where he wanted to be.
I don't be anywhere else. If KSers doing the breathing work and all this, yeah,
Yeah,
that's a
yeah,
safe space right there. Yeah.
yeah.
Wow. How did everybody else take that? Like the group? They,
Well, We're all shocked, but we were, I mean, okay.
Was there like present words? Because I mean, KS teaches the way showing after Bardo for people and the time review loops afterwards to help people get out.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, this happened quite a while ago, so
Yeah.
maybe 5 years.
So speaking of bioregeneration, purge and meant for you, and where do you see yourself right now with your biogenesis? You're mentioning that your intelligence and you're noticing.
Um, Bioregenesis for me, you know, I feel like physically, I don't know if I can do it. It's like Aisha says, she doesn't know if her body can handle it. But, on the other hand, we're supposed to be able to go to Araya Earth and get that, have that bioregenesis so that we can. I mean, my sole goal and desire is to permanently, consciously, physically embody eternal at one with first eternal creation, God, source, unutterable one, and it's all encompassing divine eternal truth and divine eternal splendor. I want to do that, but I don't know if I'm too old physically to do it. I
You look
may.
great.
Oh, thank you.
I,
I have
I,
I have a plate in my left wrist.
yeah,
Anyway,
yeah.
but
It
I
happens. Maybe there's anchor points and things.
yeah, doesn't have to be a limitation.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
yeah. So we'll see. I would like to. Yeah.
Have, have you experienced like bringing in frequency and then having like a purge cycle or a clearing? What has that been for you with this? Like after doing a technique or an activation, like it brings things to the surface, or it seems to be a classic chaos thing that happens.
I did so much emotional, karmic, and other clearing before I found KS that I I I don't think I really don't feel like I have a lot to do there. I have no physical stuff. Like my J seals in my shoulders are killing me. Just the
We all
pain
got it.
in the arms, from the shoulders. I know it's the J seals because when I looked in the book at where they are,
Yeah.
oh, that's exactly where the pain is. So they're being activated, right?
That's what was announced. I didn't personally resonate with that myself, and we can get into some of the after post shield splits later on probably. But yeah, I've seen people post on that, just saying they're having a lot of trouble with those lately. Also, actually, before she came out with Ian Parks was noting that on his personal page, just that these things are alive and well and still going and everything.
Yeah, I think it takes an awful lot of work. You know, I mean, we have been isolated on this planet for so long, and it's going to take so much work to get through, to break open. I, I don't know. It's just,
Yeah.
sometimes I wonder if I'm tired.
Oh, I know it. I know.
How far do we have to go? How much more? Oh,
Yeah.
but I, I have no more fear. I, I choose love and joy in the moment, every moment, and even though I get tired, I wonder how long do I have to wait. um, yeah, no, it's fine. I'll just keep
It,
doing it.
right. It
It's
could
our
be a number of side effects from us, like just doing it and the frequency necessary. It could be like the anchor in it could be experience all this as just tiredness and fatigue, but we're really, stepping into the alignment, the right alignment on the higher densities and kind of bringing that down to integrate here. So,
I, I there are times when I feel the energies increase. I can feel the intensity increases, and I feel it go through my body. Um, but it. I wonder why it doesn't last. As soon as I stop meditating or doing techniques, the energy subsides. So what's that about?
So after you do the tech sides,
Yeah.
sometimes whenever you, so
I,
does it level it out to where it's more
yeah.
able to adapt better? Okay, that's
Yeah.
interesting.
Yeah. I mean, it gets to a point when I'm doing these that I can't move. I don't want to move because I don't want to lose it, right?
Yeah,
But I have to because I have to live my life. I have to go on. I have to walk the dogs.
almost
And
like a coating or plasma coating cocoon or something.
yeah, it is.
And is it on the outside, like the aura, like where you kind of feel it in the immediate surface of your
I
biofield?
yeah. I act, yes, that's true. And even doing the Drema, Ludfar, and Schema codes in the Eternal Ancient Eyes, those are the ones I do right at the end after I do the others. And I can actually feel the layers deeper and deeper as I do them. So I get it in the body, but then I get it around the body as well. So
Uh-huh. I'm
it's,
familiar with that too. When I'm stretched, when I feel it, when the energy's opening, the lines and everything comes
right.
from within, and you reach the right alignment. Like my posture, it's constant alignment of, it seems like lately of just how am I sitting and what position have I been in for too long, where the block's starting, and just being more aware of that.
Oh yeah, that is so true. Yeah,
It's gotten
I'm
very personable.
a rest sleeper too. I have to
Yeah.
change positions all the time. Yeah,
Yeah, I've been like training my back and not move my neck to where it's all achy in the morning, because my body still wants to curl or go to the side. But
yeah,
if you keep the flows on at night, it feels kind of safe going at night, your energy and stuff.
right. I have to ask you a question. So when you get in bed at night, I lie on my back first with no pillow, and I do the love bubble thing to get the pink love bubble around after I do the other things. But I do this while lying down, and the funny thing is, I'm lying on my back and I'm, at least 15 minutes, half an hour, I'm not asleep yet because it's almost like the energy coming in just energizes me more.
No, I thought
Yeah, do you get that?
I do, and
Try to go to sleep.
I can more like control it sometimes because I've had it so where it's like, okay, I have to get up in the morning. I've got to work. I've had this responsibility. So I think I've connected those density levels down here to be able to orchestrate it, not let it intrude so much to that extent. But I know exactly what you're talking about. I've had that before to where it's just like keeping me awake. And I can either go with it and go into the chakras, breathe and flow and stay up for a while, or I can just kind of, okay, it's time to go sleep. Just kind of direct it.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, that's common actually, where you just lay down. The flows are on.
Right. The only time I can stay on my back and just fall right to sleep and be that way for half the night is if I've had a glass of wine
Yeah, that helps. Yeah.
right before bed.
For me, if it's a lot of physical activity, wear myself out or something.
Oh, okay. Yeah, for me, physical activity energizes me more.
Does it? Yeah.
Yeah,
You can reach the where it does that too. I know.
yeah.
About that. Yeah. And so much of it seems to be mental lately too. Like the mental is kind of merging with the physical. Like we're talking about that stuff way in the 50s, 60s when all the New Age stuff started, metaphysics and everything. And it seems like that's what do finally. So,
Yeah, the 60s, that was my time. I was the flower child,
oh
with,
yeah,
yeah, oh,
original
yeah.
hippie.
Oh, yes.
Oh yeah, that's
Oh,
awesome.
yeah. Play the guitar, sing folk songs, meditate with a cat. I had a candle in the middle of the room, and my my three friends and I would be sitting around the candle listening to Poitier does readings from Plato with jazz background. And we meditate and then we discuss.
Yes.
I have to say, I do use a lot of essential oils and herbs. And I find the essential oils very, very helpful. And I think it comes from my lifetime when I was Native American and I was a medicine woman. And the herbs and essential oils were very important. And I use those when I go to bed.
What are you seeing with this marijuana movement, medical marijuana, people using this? I know the KS views on this, but what are you seeing with it?
Yeah, I don't have any views. I never smoked. I never did drugs.
I thought all hippies were smoking back then.
No, not me.
No, some of them
I
were just clean.
I would pretend, but I didn't. No, no, I didn't. I was more of an activist. Like I used to smuggle draft dodgers over the border into Canada
Okay.
during the Vietnam War.
Did your part.
I did.
That's awesome. I so resonate with that era, that time. I just feel like I was in spirit with you guys or something. I know exactly what that feels like.
Oh yeah,
Revolution stuff.
for sure. When I first heard the Beatles, I saw them on TV on Ed Sullivan's show. I said, "Oh, those boys are going to change the world," and boy, did they ever!
All you need is love, huh? So,
Oh.
to the different frequencies, everything, are you able to tell the difference between plasma body, astral body, and, for example, the many parts for anatomy, and linking that also to journeys? Like, are you able to know where you're going at in a journey with the frequency?
No, I'm not. I don't have that kind of sensitivity. I'm afraid I don't have the sight either. But everything that I get in dreams. Now I know the difference between the astral body and the plasma body. Yes, I can feel the difference there. The heart of a FEMA, like the entrance, the connection to the plasma body or um, the plasma body is through the heart of a FEMA, right? Yeah,
I need to revisit it.
yeah. I'm pretty sure that's the true body. Connection is through the heart of a FEMA because I know it's through this area right at the base.
I know astral fields right now are merging with median Earth and the time waves and everything. Like their density 1 and 2, I want to say 2 is, that means we're getting like new astral time waves. And it's interesting because the whole New Age movement is about the fifth dimension, and we're going to the fifth dimension. And for me, yes, is now saying there's a major merge happening with the safe fifth dimension and astral and everything that's happening. So that's interesting.
Yeah, yeah.
Does it,
Um, I haven't been paying a lot of attention to the astral as much as I am to the true body, the plasma body. So just because of KS and Yesha's, the importance of the plasma body, right? And also the the collagen, the connections happen through the collagen in the body, in the skin, right?
I mean, on some, she goes into all the interfacia, and there's
Yeah.
that happening on many different densities, as far as I know. Like the mantle and the aquifer, as far as all that it has is completely linked in with our bioanatomy and our own biofield. So I think just all the happening as far as then it feels like all the interfacia stuff is opening around us, and the dreams, the subconscious, unconscious, all that was supposed to already be. So dream and subconscious stuff is healing right now and all kind of opening,
Yeah, yeah.
and
I
that can
think
be good and bad. That can be that can be,
can be bad too. Yes.
yeah. You don't know what you're gonna get
I,
sometimes.
I and it's really funny because that's why I say to myself, boy, I'm really glad I released so much earlier before KS because that
Nice.
I think I would have been so blocked. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
During
Yeah.
this time right now, like there's so many going through
Yeah.
expedited
I think,
clearing.
yes, exactly. I think the fact that I'm I know that, I had a complete life recall of being with Joshua as well. And I know that um, I feel like I'm one of the old ones, you know? And the fact that I came in so much earlier than everybody else, like I'm 74, so I mean there are some that are my age, like Noah, and well, some Noah, he's probably younger. I don't know,
You're one
but
of our elders. Oh.
there are some older ones, yeah. But I feel like the purpose for me in coming in, when I look back, I've got, Chris, I have 12 journals. When you're an actor and you know that journaling is everything. So I've always journaled. My whole personal life is a journal. I've got journals up the wazoo. And it's what I've discovered in journaling and in meditating is my sole purpose was to come in and help people heal really heavy stuff, really, dark karmic stuff. And I've done that. I really have, and I'm very pleased with the results that I've gotten.
So you're
In,
working like hands-on with some people on the karmic level of what they're facing and getting them into that process, facilitating.
yes, exactly. And you see, when you look at the virtues, the whole circle with all those virtues and all uh, the responsibilities, all of that.
Yeah.
That just fits so well. And in studying that, I've been looking and say, okay, I've done this. I'm doing this. I've done this. I'm still a little bit short on this, and we keep working. We just keep working like that. And by by behaving the way we are supposed to as our authentic selves, we are affecting everybody around us. You know.
So where are you seeing most of the karmic blocks in tune with the astral, the spirit body anatomy? What's the most common place right now that you're seeing these blocks with people?
Well, I think the most important thing that I see is people not loving themselves, not being able to forgive themselves, feeling unworthy. That is, that gives me a lot of pain when I see that, because how they react with other people, they are mirroring for themselves, you know? And it's so sad because there's nothing you can do. You can tell them, love yourself, forgive yourself. But doing it mentally is one thing, but doing it in a really sincere and internal and deep, gut-filled way it's so much different, so different. So that has to be done. People need to wake up to that kind of thing. When they do, then they will start to view others differently. They will start to see more of people going through the same thing, and they will understand, and they will develop the compassion.
Yeah, I have to agree. I'm seeing a lot of that too. I mean, even in my own self, you can see as soon as you put down the wall and open up and stand in your truth and your power, there is more connectivity as people can see that, and it's like nodes connecting. They all start to more. It's definitely noticeable.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's very painful because that's another thing I do. I see people, the way they treat trees or plants, the way they treat animals. My gosh, there's so much suffering being perpetrated by human beings that hate themselves. It's just, and I have a lot of compassion for animals because I'm a volunteer at the Toronto Zoo because I love the animals, and it's it's tragic because of the abuse that's happening now. it's coming to the surface, of course. So there's so much more of it, but
All right, we're back.
okay, let's move on.
Move on. Okay. So, let's see. I'll pull up the questions here. What direction do you see the group of KS going, and how do you see the future with KS? Will it become mainstream, or will it always remain out of the public's eye?
Oh my gosh. I think it will become mainstream. I think it will be taught seriously, but it's a long way in the future. I wish it would happen sooner, but I don't see that happening.
Don't see any bridging at all even in the New Age community. That's where it would start. It seems like it would kind of spread out.
Yeah. Well, I do listen to certain speakers, so that Project Camelot. She's really good.
Carrie Castle.
Yeah,
She
actually,
just joined our group actually recently, the KS Reality group. It's an honor to have her there.
Simon Parks he has a lot of respect for Yesha.
Okay, I didn't know that.
Yes, he does, which is one of the reasons I listen to him. Now he works with the Mantids, and the Mantids
Right.
are actually one of the guardians. They're listed as one of the guardians in Yesha.
Atheians. Yeah.
Yeah. So, that people are, I wish it would move faster, but she doesn't do a lot of public stuff because she's so busy doing the work that she needs to do with the Guardians, and it's,
Do you think it's a matter of friction, that everything's just in DRT and it's got to move a little at its pace when it needs to, and so,
yeah. So divine right order, divine right timing,
yes.
divine right balance, and
Yeah, balance.
yeah. Yeah, so it has to, you can't push it, because as soon as you start pushing it, people get turned off because they're
That's true.
inspired by it. They have to let go of religions. And I think once the changeover starts coming, once this, I don't know, the reset has to happen. We have to get rid of this cabal control of the earth.
Boy, how many resets have we had? Are we going to keep having?
I know, it's endless, but
It's layers.
we have to have a really, you know what I'm thinking? She had mentioned 2027. It may not happen till then. Yep, may not happen till then.
And what are you saying would happen by then? What do you?
Start to become more recognized and more requested as far as information.
Well, she has been mentioning the parallels in the KDDLs with, what was it, now? Sent out some satellite to study the Earth's Merkabah electromagnetic fields. That was interesting.
Yes, that was very interesting. Yes, scientists are actually discovering some interesting stuff,
Right.
and there are a lot of parallels with what she had said earlier. So I'm saying, okay, they're finally starting to wake up, and all the attention has been on the sun releasing all these CMEs and all this energy
Yeah.
coming. And well, yeah, the sun's releasing its rings and spans. So, yeah.
Well, there was a post recently in the group about the sun's bardo, which
Yeah.
the death process of it. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, I believe that these CMEs that the sun is releasing up until 2022. 2022 will be the 15th ring and span. That could be the most powerful. But I think that a lot of the high winds and the stuff that's coming off right now are because of the veils being lifted off the planet. We're no longer, and even astronomers are seeing so much more. They're crediting their equipment, but it's not their equipment. It's the fact that we are being able to see because the veils are being lifted, And I think that the energies that are coming in are really, really helping people a lot more. So I think that, yeah, it's happening. It's just And the bardo of the sun, I really think that she's right about it's going to take 900 years. I
Okay.
don't. I
Density one.
the yeah once see because the scientists are I follow a lot of the astronomer stuff, the or planet or health of the solar system and all
Right.
that. Suspicious observers. He does all the sun stuff and everything, and see, they're astounded at how quiet the sun gets. Okay, but then it releases these huge CMEs. So I think that once 2022 passes and it releases its 15th ring and span, I think they're going to be astounded by how quiet the sun will be permanently.
Okay.
But it won't disappear, it won't implode. But I think I think she's right about 900 years. I have a feeling.
So what exactly is going to happen after the sun's bar process? What do you unexplained? I don't quite understand that myself.
Well, my feeling is that the sun. You have heard her say that the rest of the Milky Way is going black hole,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Our solar system.
We build walls when we ought to be building bridges, and we lose touch when we ought to be holding on, and we hold back when we really should be giving, and we hold out when we're holding on to nothing at all. Freedom from fear of certain failure. Freedom from the bar we place across every door. Freedom from things we just imagine. Freedom from all that came before. And we speak out when we could learn so much from silence. And we think twice when we shouldn't think at all. And we give in when we should stand and speak our truth. And we give up, then it's going, going, gone. Freedom from fear of certain failure. Freedom from the bar we place across every door. Freedom from things we just imagine. Freedom from all that came before. Freedom from fear of certain failure. Freedom from the bar we place across every door. Freedom from things we just imagine. Freedom from all that came before. Freedom. 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 Freedom from fear and failure, hunger and greed. Freedom from jealousy, pride, anger, and hypocrisy. Freedom from everything you want but really you don't need. Freedom from glamour, illusion, and insurance company. Freedom from atomic bombs and wars from pain and sorrow, poor pitiful me. Freedom from sickness and suffering, ignorance and poverty. Freedom from all bondages, freedom